this. Stevens has gotten so much mileage out of the story on this woman doing fundraisers for her opponents, especially considering that the same woman did a fundraiser for Stevens 3 months after the post in question. Yeah, I saw this last night. This was the co-chair. This was the co-chair of the Mallory McMorrow campaign. The woman, the Michigan Dem who praised grandfather's Nazi military service hosting fundraiser for Abdul El-Said. She was a co-chair for Mallory McMorrow's Senate run. Okay? And what's interesting about it is she's obviously a big fundraiser in the state because she also had fundraised for Haley Stevens. So this is a hilarious story. Stevens has gotten so much mileage out of the story on this woman doing fundraisers for her opponents, especially considering that the same woman did a fundraiser for Stevens 3 months after the post in question. It's such a funny story. All she needed to do was not post about her Nazi grandfather, and yet that and the fact that she's apparently done fundraisers for basically anyone who's ever run for office as a Democrat in Michigan. Yes, she seems like a normal, well-meaning liberal who just posted family history she should have buried. It is a hilarious story. I could not believe it when I first encountered it. This lady literally was like, this Veterans Day, I want to give a shout out to my grandfather who is a veteran of World War II, just not on the right side. Okay? It's a hilarious story. But what's crazy about it is that Haley Stevens is trying to weaponize the story against Abdul right now. Meanwhile, she fucking fundraised for Haley Stevens. What are we doing? Hasan, why do we not push FDR as a role model for socialist programs? Why don't we lean into what worked in the past? It's like we don't want to embrace or recall this period in history. Great question. Here's the answer. FDR would not have done any of those reforms if it wasn't for the communists pushing him to get to those reforms. But yes, these guys think FDR is a communist too. They just are too embarrassed to openly say that out loud, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for the record, Emily's List polled Michigan but chose not to poll the Senate election despite endorsing Stevens. Oh, they most certainly polled El-Said and Stevens, and the decision not to release the results suggests a bad result for Stevens. Yes, it is a complete media blackout on internal polls coming from the Haley Stevens side. And there is a reason for it. Okay? Especially now that Abdul is releasing internal polls that show him up 10 points over Haley Stevens. Obviously, the counter from the Haley Stevens camp is to release their internal numbers. But it's very clear that their internal numbers are showing something devastating. This also corresponds to what Haley Stevens has been doing in terms of attacking Abdul over and over again. This close to the race, you're supposed to actually lock in on your supporters. You're supposed to try to show your policies and try to make an argument of a vision in the affirmative. The fact that they're not doing that and the fact that they are aggressively posturing against Abdul El-Said, trying to slander him extra hard and potentially even putting themselves in a weaker position overall, even if they were to win the primary, right? Implies that they recognize that they're cooked. Meanwhile, she hasn't done a single fucking town hall. She is doing a horrible job at campaigning. It's all just attack ad after attack ad after attack ad. Now, the problem with attack ads like this is that they depress turnout. They don't actually increase turnout for your side. It has the capacity to potentially depress turnout for your opponent. Okay? This is not how you win elections if you're down 10 points. You have to also have a vision in the affirmative. And none of I'm so tired of these losers. Yeah, Parker Get a Job said that too. It's fine. Guys, it's okay. Okay? Yes, optics. Parker Get a Job is very frustrated with the optics. He's saying I'm making the DSA look bad. I'm making the socialist movement look bad. I'm making the Democrats look bad because I wore a Zhongshan suit that I got in China. The answer that I have to that is just let me fucking cook. Okay? It doesn't matter. You have, it costs $0 for you to not lean into reactionary manufactured outrage. Okay? That's it. That's it. We have to have some messaging discipline. These optics arguments are just a distilled version of what you say every day, is it not? Yes. There is also an optics argument that is valid, and then there's an optics argument that is invalid. If you're actually leaning in to the idea that me wearing a Chinese suit is actually the same as like being Adolf Hitler, then you're a little stupid. Okay? I'm sorry. It's unbelievably stupid. Why are you ceding the framing on this issue to oppositional figures? David Pacman lost his mind on this too. 54 minutes? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I mean, who cares? Whatever. After October 7th, I'm going to let Hasan cook since he handles his ops easy. Why don't you meet people where they are? I do meet people where they are. I care about what people care about. I care about the actual impact, the actual policies. I am a firm and committed believer that wearing a fucking Nehru-style suit or wearing a Chinese suit is nowhere near as consequential as the actual things that I'm talking about. And most people, I think, there are definitely a lot of people who will hear the criticisms, who will hear the cries and go, you know what, that makes sense. I think this guy does love Mao Zedong. I think this guy does love China. It's scary or whatever. Okay. Hasan is unironically an actual legit SJW, says Sosha Butt. Yes. I think the suit scandal unironically worked because wearing the suit caused Fox News to constantly play the commentary. I'm fine with that. Perhaps they still would have ran the College Democrats of America speech, regardless of what kind of suit I was wearing, but I don't give a shit. If that gets in front of eyeballs, if that actually gets people, if that gets people to actually hear what I have to say, a much larger audience to hear what I have to say, I'm happy with that. Who gives a fuck? I just want to say that the gray suit makes it so that people may not take you seriously enough. And by people, I mean normal voters. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that I'm not running for office, isn't it? I'm a content creator. Okay? I'm a content creator. No, you should listen to them, capitulate to not wearing, and also while you're at it, listen to the centrists and capitulate on all your socialist values, because caring about what scares centrists is how we'll create a more progressive society funded by Third Way. Yeah,